Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video. And today we're going to be talking about our year this year. 2024 has been really crazy, but there have been a lot of developments, a lot of new changes to our platforms, and a lot of things to celebrate. Of course, it's had its ups and its downs, but I thought this would just be a cool opportunity to go through how far we've progressed and what has come out of 2024, as well as some of the things that we want to see in 2025. I think there are a lot of great things on the horizon and things are just going to get better and better. But, time will tell what actually comes together from the companies we've been working with. So let's go ahead and talk about it, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. So first, let's talk about probably what most of you are interested in, being all of the records that we've seen be broken this year. As always, our cars are just continuing to get faster and faster. At this point, it's really hard to keep up with. And as I've shared in some of the videos where I cover this topic, I simply can't make a video every time a new record is broken. But we have talked about some of the more notable ones, in particular for the B58 and S58 platform. And even after the videos that I've made, the cars continue to go faster. So where we are today is basically the fastest B58 out there is still Mike Body's A90 Supra. He's currently, the fastest time he has ran is a 7.68, at least the fastest time that I've seen him post, which is incredibly fast considering how hard it was to get into the 8s and then get into the 7s. Every 10th is a huge hurdle at this point for those guys. So seeing him get that fast and seeing more and more cars break into the 7s has been a really incredible thing to see. Now, even though Supras are continuing to dominate, we're seeing other B58s and other platforms get into the 7s as well. The first one being the BMW M240i owned by the shop CT, where they ran a 7.9 earlier this year. And also we're seeing S58 cars get into the 7s. So RK Tunes broke in where he finally got his car off of the dyno, and within 2 passes it was running a 7-second quarter mile. But Mike Body again still has the lead in the tennis ball that ran a 7.8 quarter mile. So really impressive again to see these cars break into the 7s. And even the Gen 1s have been doing really incredible things. We saw the first 8-second 340i this year, as well as the new fastest 340i from BMWs. The car is now running an 8.8 quarter mile. And we have cars even faster overseas. There is an M140i over in the UK that was X-Drive converted, and that car has ran an 8.7 quarter mile. So these cars are getting closer to the 8.5s. Maybe we'll start seeing bottom 8s next year. Naturally, these cars have been out for longer, but it does seem like more of a challenge to get them to go this fast. So we're slowly but surely getting the Gen 1s there as well. And even the M340is are doing work. We've now got an M340i running an 8.6 quarter mile. So again, these cars are getting close to hitting bottom 8s. And this is a Keys Motorsports car. I think this came out of nowhere for a lot of us because they were building it on their channel for a while, showing all the different upgrades that you can do to one. They got it tuned, and it seems like within a couple weeks, if not maybe a few months, it was already running in the 8s, and now it's the world's fastest M340i. So just really crazy things to see from these guys. Now, none of this would be possible without tuning, and the tuning platforms as well have had a lot of new updates and upgrades this year. MHD is really pushing their reflex integration. So now with the Gen 2, you've got full reflex integration, as well as for the S58. That allows you to see codes, do map switching, flex fuel. All of the different features that were available for the Gen 1 are now available for the Gen 2 and S58 as well. But they've pushed that even further, and now they're offering live tuning for the Gen 2 and S58. So that allows your tuner to customize settings and change things on the fly without having to reflash maps. And so they're just making it easier and easier for you to tune your car and achieve the results that you're looking for, especially cars that are pushing for, 4-digit horsepower levels. That's a really nice feature to have. Now, Bootmode is also doing their own thing. They've got the Rev 2 board that was officially announced and released. Although we haven't really seen it sold to the masses yet, we at least know that it's a thing. We've seen some shops testing it and running it on their cars and showing that it actually works. And hopefully that will be something that you can just order off of the shelf very soon. They've also updated their custom ROM to the new V2, which adds a lot of new features, but I think the biggest one that is really cool to see is custom DTCs. So you'll be able to set specific check engine codes for different conditions that your car experiences. So if you want limits based on IATs or coolant temps or rail pressure or whatever you want, you can set up custom parameters to create those custom DTC codes and set that up on your car. So I'm really excited to see what people do with that. I think paired with the Rev 2 board, it will add a lot of capability. But again, we're just kind of waiting for that to get sold to the masses. And then on top of that, the latest development that I got to see at PRI is the new Motive Reflex Pro. We're anticipating that'll be out early next year, but at this point, it's just kind of initially released and announced by Motive. So it is a thing. It will be coming soon, and we'll find out more information next year on what it'll actually do for us. Now, tuning is nice, but we want some actual go fast parts. And of course, there are a bunch of new turbos on the market as well. Companies like Dynamic Auto Works released brand new turbo options. I have the UltraFlow X on my 340i, but they also have the larger 6466 as well as the 6769. So if you want to be able to make over 800 wheel horsepower on a hybrid turbo setup, these are the turbos that will help get you there. There are also additional options from Pure Turbos, and now they have a smaller Pure 650 as well as a larger Pure 900. And so we've got 650, 700, 800, 850, 900, basically whatever amount of horsepower you want to make, Pure has an option for you. And I'm anticipating there will probably continue to be new revisions and updates to these turbos next year. So just kind of keep your eyes open, keep your ears out, and see what they announce in the future. Another big one was Remnant Performance, which we haven't talked about a lot on this channel, but it's slowly but surely rolling out to more and more cars, and I'm hearing more and more people try it out. And the new Omega 65 turbo that they make was released for the Gen 1 as well. So initially it was only available for the Supra, but now we've got some 6-port B58s as well as some Gen 1 guys running their turbos, and it seems to be doing pretty good. So again, we'll just kind of pay attention to see as more data is posted. Speaking of data, we've gotten more information on the new Gen 3 B58, and that was exciting because it was historically in the X7 and 7 series when it was originally announced, but now this year it was rolled out into M340i's and M440i's. The only car I think that doesn't have it yet is the M240i, so we'll wait to see when it gets into that platform. But otherwise, we're getting a lot more data on it. We're seeing cars get tuned with it, seeing what the capabilities are with just like a piggyback and stuff like that. Granted, you can't flash tune them yet because they've got a brand new DME. We'll come back to that. But, you know, otherwise, it seems like a really exciting platform. Now, on the other hand, of course, we've seen the reliability concerns that come with it. A lot of people are having cylinder head issues and stuff that honestly at this point seem to have been worked out. It seems like it was really just the early model year cars going through their growing pains in the first, maybe 10,000 miles. I haven't heard about it a lot going into the later part of this year, and I definitely haven't heard of any issues from other people with newer M340 or 440i's. But, time will tell. Again, just trying to pay attention, and as people give me feedback, I'll share that information with you guys. Another thing I think was really exciting was just to hear about new platforms in general. So we know that we've got the new M5 that was released that has the hybrid system, and a lot of people are not big fans of that, myself included, but at least the car seems to be able to make a lot of horsepower really easily. When it's paired with that hybrid system, the battery adds a nice chunk of horsepower over what the engine can provide. So it'll be interesting to see how people push that going into next year. The other thing, of course, is the new M2 that is coming with xDrive soon. So a lot of people were excited to hear that, as well as the new M2 that we don't know the name of it, but it seems like it's going to have an increase in horsepower and a nice set of options, although it'll probably be a limited model. So we'll kind of have to wait to see how that rolls out in the next 2 years. And then, of course, there's the new kind of electric movement that BMW has been posting on these latest videos, where it seems like we're going to be getting a full EV version of the M3. So keep yourself buckled in. We'll just see how this develops. They're slowly giving us little bits of information, and I'm guessing next year there will probably be a much bigger announcement, but for now, we'll just kind of have to wait. And then the one that I'm probably most excited about is the final edition Supra. I think that car still just looks amazing. It's my kind of color scheme. It's my kind of focus on performance and handling, not just straight line speed. So I think that car is going to be amazing, although it seems like it's really going to be for the Japanese market primarily, but it'll still be exciting to see that car come out, and maybe some people will run it through its paces. Now, on the other side of things, we've had some major losses in the community this year. Most notable is probably one stock F30 that passed away in a car accident. That was a huge loss to the community because he was one of the biggest ambassadors for our platforms, and he was one of the guys that was just really pushing it as hard as he could. And so that was really unfortunate. I know a lot of people close to him, really felt that hard, especially if you lived in New York and you were a part of that scene. It was a really big hit for the community. So rest in peace to him. That was definitely a really big loss. And even outside of that, we've lost a lot of cars as well. I know M Powerhouse's car caught on fire, although it seemed pretty minimal, and they should be getting back on the road hopefully soon. And then Mike Body's tennis ball got in a really bad accident. That car got totaled. It seems like at this point, they've taken all the parts off of it that they want, and they'll probably be working on a new chassis or, kind of developing the next steps of what they want to do with that. But yeah, a lot of these guys that were getting really fast got a reality check this year. And I think that's going to put a big focus on safety next year. I cannot skip past a post of somebody saying they're building a 1,000 horsepower B58 or S58 without people in the comments saying, get a roll cage, get a harness, drive with a helmet, all of this stuff. So the community definitely is taking note of that and paying attention a lot more to not just the platform and how fast you're making it, but how safe you're going to be as a driver when you're driving the car. Now, on a more personal note, I think, a lot of big things have been happening for me. I've been able to travel a lot more this year. I've done more track days, which is really exciting. I've taken my daily driver, screwed it up, put a big turbo on it, fixed a bunch of issues, and been going through those growing pains throughout this year, and just put a lot of miles on the car. Done a lot of testing with different intake manifolds, different fuel upgrades, different everything, and so it's really been a blessing to be able to do that and create this content for you guys. And I'm really excited to continue doing that next year. But I think there are a couple things that I want to see in particular. The first thing, of course, is we need DME unlocks to come to the States. We need somebody in the United States to be able to unlock our DMEs. Preferably, we need somebody to work with the major tuning platforms so that we can unlock these DMEs through the OBD port, just like the good old days. You guys remember, you used to be able to just plug in a Wi-Fi adapter and hit a couple buttons. Even if you screw it up, the tuning platform would tell you and fix it for you and flash it properly. That's what we need. So I really hope that comes in 2025. Please, somebody figure this out. We are begging you. Now, the next thing that I want to see is DME unlocks come. I want somebody in the United States. No, I'm just kidding. So the next thing that I want to do is more track days. And hopefully I want to see more B58s at the track. At some of the track days that I've gone to, there have been other cars. Like I was tracking with an M240i. I was tracking with other Supras. I tracked with an M4. So I think more of the guys are trying to get into tracking their cars. And we're realizing that there's another aspect other than just, making really big numbers. So I think that's something that I would like to see. A lot of you guys have reached out to me about setting up your car for optimal handling. And just remember, it's not all about driving it on the highway and taking on ramps at speed. You can take your car to a track, really put it through its paces, and that's the easiest way to tell what upgrades you should do next. So definitely hope that's something that we see more of next year. I also hope I can make the X7 a little more fun. I think tuning is right around the corner with me. There's only so long that I can wait before messing with a car, even if it is my daily driver. I still won't go full send on it. I know a lot of you guys want to see it like top mount, wide body, air it out, and all of this stuff. That's not going to happen, but we will be doing a little bit with that car, especially since it is a Gen 2. I can test a lot of these new Gen 2 tuning features, and so that's really something that I'm putting on, the priority list for next year. And so, of course, I'll be sharing that process with you guys as well. And then with the 440, I just want to drive it more. I want to, again, take it to more trips, go to more shows, now that I've got the X7 and I can tow the car, I think it'll be a lot easier to do longer distance trips. So maybe I can go to shows that are farther away. You guys on the East Coast seem like you're having a lot of fun, so maybe I can make it out there, maybe make it out to some stuff down south, maybe even make it to Texas. I don't know, time will tell. But that's really what my plan is, just get more seat time in the cars, test more parts, travel more, and hopefully get into another new platform, because the X7 definitely wasn't it. I need another Gen 2 B58 or maybe something else. So we'll see how this year comes together. And as always, a big thank you to you guys for supporting my videos and watching my content throughout the year. Hopefully you guys are having a great holiday season and you're ready for 2025 like I am, and we'll just continue pushing forward. So for now, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.